you share around groups and like, oh yeah, we like jump. Yeah, we have like over 2,000 people listening to us every single day.
Should do something on Friday.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Sophie podcast. I know it's been long, episode 5. But then, yes, as usual, we always start our episode with Jamie the artist. And a couple of housekeeping. I'm Ivan Mukasa, and as always, remember, we answer your questions on sexual health. What's up, guys? Join in, share this. Don't be afraid to share this. What was I supposed to say? So yeah, share this with your friends and your colleagues and tell them SophieBot is up. The SophieBot podcast is back. Yes, and as I do a couple of housekeeping chores, today we have a really awesome guest. And yeah, the setting is not Nylab for the first time. We are set up at, what's the name of the hotel? Oh, Tsugusan, up at Tsugusan or Southern Mayfair. Southern Mayfair up in Westlands, Nairobi. And we have a really interesting and cool show for you guys. So join in and start sharing. And last few days I've been in the midpoint of a really good program that I'm in, sponsored by Microsoft, and it's called Microsoft Insiders for Good. And I'm in representing Sophie, and it's Microsoft funding and supporting businesses in this space of sexual health. And one of the startups that are in this space is is one of the coolest startups I've ever met in sexual health. You might say that a lot, but every time I say it, I mean it. Yes. And today with me we have Brenda from Zalaa. I'll let her say hi to you guys.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hi guys, nice meeting you. My name is Natal Brenda, and yeah, like he said,
Natongo Brenda.
yeah, Natal Brenda.
So where you from?
I'm from Uganda. Uganda is amazing.
Just putting it out there, yes.
Yeah, like Uganda is amazing. You guys should, I don't know, whoever is listening should shoot to Uganda, cause yeah.
So yeah, hope do you have any hope some of Ugandan friends can like hear this and get to hear some of the cool stuff that you do. So as I told you, like we try and do this every few weeks, where I sit down and I drive a conversation on sexual and reproductive health, and that's the goal, because Sophie is there to answer questions on sexual health, but then we haven't like moved the world that much closer to openly and honestly talking about sex and sexual health, and that's why we have it. And you work in this space of sexual health, so would you like tell the guys what you work in?
Okay, like maybe to speak a little bit, to talk more a little bit about Zalaa.
Awesome.
Like Zalaa sends automated voice SMSs to pregnant women to remind them about their pregnancy progress or to attend an antenatal care visit, so that they reduce on the maternal mortality rate.
Awesome.
Like this is a very big problem in Uganda, and you know, like there's a lot of pregnant women out there who like forget to go and visit, or maybe like go to the hospital to be checked on the what pregnancy.
Pregnancy, yeah, it's
so
pregnancy.
So what probably Zalaa does, like it keeps on reminding you, you know, this week this is how far. Let me say now, your baby is this big, it's like a mango, and
it's an embryo.
Yeah.
It's an embryo.
So like it's a mango, or maybe maybe like you have like swollen legs, and maybe this is how you're supposed to eat. It's just amazing. Like you don't have to skip anything. It is we want to travel to be with the pregnant women also.
Awesome. So I hate when journalists do this, but then I'm about to do that, where I summarize the entire sentence in my own words. So yeah, Zalaa women out there, they have to go for postnatal checkup rather than having a book and a diary where they list it. Some forget, something happen, and they have to like. So it's is it only prenatal or also way past postnatal?
Yeah, it is. It is actually amazing that like we support the women from pregnancy till the child is like, for example, 5 years, because the child has to receive
grow.
immunization, has to feed properly. So, for example, if you like subscribe to Zalaa Care, you receive weekly updates about your pregnancy, your baby progress, and as you give her the baby, this is maybe the second time you're supposed to be taking her, this is how you're supposed to feed them, like give them the breast milk. Generally, it is a long journey. We will be with them all the way.
The entire life. So from conception to 5 years of age. That's cool. That's really interesting. In common journalist legalese, though I'm not a journalist, I work in sectional. So yeah, what inspired you? Because I know your story and it's really interesting, and it'd be really cool if you shared it with
Wow.
guys.
Okay, my story is a little bit sad. My story is a little bit sad, cause for example, when I completed my university, I got pregnant. I had no clue about pregnancy, and then honestly, I was thankful to God because I didn't have a problem with my pregnancy. And then I reached my next visit. I dodged it honestly because I thought, yeah, okay.
Yeah, good.
And then I reached the hospital. I had labor pains, and then hell, they induced me from like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and my baby wasn't getting up.
But for guys out there, like induced pregnancy is where doctors actually want labor. So yes, for if you didn't get that, like get that. So you thought you were well, that you missed a couple of visits, and then
The doctor comes, checks me up, and there's the process. I don't know how they call it. I don't know the term, but it's crazy.
is it a sonogram or something?
Not a sonogram. Okay, like a doctor kind of inserts her hand inside there. It was crazy. So he was like, you're going from any position, and she couldn't go out. So that was my experience, and that inspired me to like start Zalaa Care because
it's your story. And,
yeah, it's my story.
And like, that's really cool. So like you mentioned something, and like I've learned it the hard way when I'm talking about Sophie, and then the journalist was like, so wait first, explain now AI, because Sophie bot uses AI, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have to like break it down and tell them what AI is, and so yeah, you mentioned like the complication with you was that your baby was
in a posterior position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you like describe that?
Okay, like when a baby, a baby is supposed to, when a baby is ready to be pushed out, her back head is supposed, like how can I say it? Okay, like the face of the baby. Like the face of the baby is supposed to be facing the face of the baby is supposed to be facing your spine. But then in my case, the back of the head is facing my spine. So that is the posterior position, and a baby is in that position. Trust me, you cannot push it out because they put pressure on your spine, and in the end you might like get paralyzed. So that was the situation. So the only option was to take me to theater to save me and the baby. Yeah, it was.
And how long ago was this?
Yeah. My baby is now 3 years.
Awesome.
Hoping 3 years. So that was 3 years ago.
Happy. When was
her birthday was in August.
Happy belated birthday.
Yeah.
What time we give a shout out? Yes. Awesome. When you find this video when you grow up, obscure video when you grow up in the future, let you know mom said hi.
Yeah.
Awesome. Interesting. So from how long from your complication did you like or did you face other mothers, other expectant mothers facing this same problem? So you're like, I have to solve this problem for them. Like, for how long was it like? Do you experience to when you decided, nah, I have to? It's not tenable that you live like this.
Okay, like maybe what I would say is this is experienced by a lot of mothers out there, and it so happens that they're not informed about like situations that happen. Like for example, how the babies notice maybe if the take a scan,
Mhm.
and then they notice your baby is in a posterior position. They like do some touches and exercises, and then to put the baby back in the same position.
If it's
So to go
discovered
back-
early
yeah,
enough.
yeah. So to go back to your question, like, have I experienced some mothers who have
Yeah,
gone through the
then
experience?
yes. So the first was that you experience other people going through the same problem. Or how long and how long did it take you from your experience to like it's happening to a lot of other mothers out there. So let's solve this problem.
How long did it take me to?
Yeah, to like I have to now like set up solutions. Even though Zalaa care wasn't like the first idea that we
Okay.
we came up with. Like I have to like solve this problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so like how long it took me, I can't specifically say that it this amount of time,
Uh-huh.
but then like when I went through that, and labor is really unique. You can't explain it to anyone. So like when you keep going back, you're
get
like,
it.
I experienced this, and then like as I was taking my baby to like for immunization, doctor checks, you experience because you go through. It is the same. It is the same. Let me say that the words
Same
are near.
word,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the words
so,
are near. So like you see the mothers what experience this, and some unfortunately people die, because not everyone who goes through the theater survives,
survives.
or
So,
maybe
yeah.
not everyone who goes through labor survives. So you pass, you see people experiencing this, and you discover this is a real thing.
This is a real problem
Yeah, so-
facing real people. That's interesting. That's really interesting. So yeah, that was like for how long did it take you, and then how many before you like started off, how many like other mothers? Oh yeah, there were like so many other mothers going through the same problem, and you're like, I have to solve
Yeah,
that.
this is important. It
Interesting.
is a real problem.
Could you take me like through the journey from basically your journey? You talked to me about like how you got the inspiration to like start solving this problem, and now what were your next steps?
Oh, okay.
Probably this probably has turned into a session on entrepreneurship, but then
Okay.
it's the beauty of live podcast.
Yeah.
We can like go harm on it and
Okay.
like and contribute.
Okay, for example, I discovered this problem, and then I thought about how I can curb this problem. And then I thought about it. And initially, I thought about I could have a physical product to keep on reminding them. And then, here I interact with the mothers, and then, we have the phones, and then we have another gadget that will be like, to my own. So,
The first this is basically
yeah,
prototype version
yeah,
one.
yeah.
It was
So
like that
now-
complex.
Yeah, so now I go MVP. Like I do a WhatsApp group of mothers. I'm interacting with these mothers, like chatting, and then I realized that mothers need something that brings them together to be in the same boat. So
Like a community
yeah, like
for-
a community. So like
interesting.
we went to the platform. Then things happened. Like these mothers are mostly using the social bundles. So like the platform. Still we had to like rethink our product. So now finally we did like surveys distributed to the mothers like in the WhatsApp group, and then we realized that according to the feedback that mothers need information, but then they would need something that is compatible to their already like what they already have.
Like that easy plug and play into the.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so then we thought about first, the journey has been it's
all-
a crazy journey. Yeah, so like we thought about how about if we do a native app that can be pre-installed on native phones.
So a native Android, native iOS, native.
That
Interesting.
can be
So on all platforms. Interesting.
On a feature phone or a smartphone.
Also native. I'm like because that's like my space.
Yeah.
So I have to like make sure so we're native on
Yeah.
Android, iOS, Apple. So,
Okay. So now, though you wanted like to incorporate a doctor's chart, but then you can't go to chart when you're offline. So we need to draw that one off the board. So now we're doing IVR, like interactive
Video.
voice response, whereby like mothers receive voice SMSs. Weekly updates to remind them of what they're supposed to do, when they're supposed to see a doctor, what they're supposed to eat, book them to a hospital. Oh wow, it's amazing. Like receive a maternity list, a baby's list. Yeah, it's all in the package. That has been.
That's an so for guys, IVR is basically basically a system that sends text, sends text that are voice.
Yeah, voice.
So that's really cool. I'm trying to get a comparable product, but then I can say because it's really interesting on its own. Is Zalaa Care up open for mothers in Kenya, for experienced mothers in Kenya?
Yeah, what's amazing because like Zalaa is
The
scalable.
version, oh yeah, the
Zalaa
version that's up. Yeah.
Like Zalaa is scalable because you just need to know the languages in Kenya, then translate, and then like just integrate it in your country that you want.
Had you mentioned that like so you're building Zalaa, it's native in which Ugandan language, which native Ugandan language?
Okay, the native Ugandan language, the most languages spoken in Uganda are, for example, English, Swahili, Ganda, Ankole, Acholi, and then I spoke Ankole, I think. Yeah. So those are the main languages. So those are the ones that we're talking about. Like I use a dial *146#, and then they select a language, considering the product that they want, and then they start like experiencing Zalaa Care to like support them through the pregnancy journey.
That's really cool. Any perceived competitors in the space that you're working in?
It is a little this is really competitive because like we already have apps in this space. There's a lot of like free apps. In there. So like they'll be like, when you're pregnant, this is what you're supposed to do. So those are opportunities as well, like word of mouth.
And trial and error, like older auntie
even the traditional birth of gender. In the villages, like when a person gets pregnant, they're like, go to that traditional birth of gender. She'll tell you everything. And those have contributed a lot of because they don't have that experience. They just depend on myths and maybe I don't know. So many women.
That knowledge transfers like generation to generation. So some things might have messed up. Have they not modernized? Have they like some traditional modernized?
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no. So I think because when you don't have information, it is a very very big problem because you lack options. You're out of options, and the only option that you have is to go to that source. And remember, the hospital's like so many kilometers away from you.
So this is now rural Uganda.
That is
rural Uganda.
Mm-hmm. So but then you have Zalaa Care. You just dial. You have your phone. You just dial and then you select the product you want. And payments are very friendly because like you can pay in installments. As you go through your journey.
The version that's up because I understand the IVR isn't up yet. So what version is out there that like mothers listening in can
Okay. Now currently what we're doing, like we have like a phone that a mother can call in to like have a feel or to like speak to a gynecologist and if they have maybe a pain or because some things you don't have to go to the hospital every time. Some things you have to experience them. It is part of the journey. So like you call in like doctor, this is maybe I'm having this pain, or maybe my back is paining, or maybe I'm experiencing this, and then please what can I do? Please advise me. And then this what stage are you? And then so at this stage this is what.
Then like. Oh guys, we're back. Interesting. Like one of the things we do here is drive conversations on sexual health. And what if I put you on the spot today to like pick any pregnancy, any prenatal or postnatal like pregnancy complication and like teach the crew about it? Yes. Are you up to the challenge?
I think from I think most women experience what I experience. Like for example, because there is posterior position, and then there are different positions whereby the baby gets gets in positions that are not supposed to. So what's funny? What's funny about pregnant women? We get so lazy. like you stay in one position every time. Like
continuous,
you're like, oh no, I'm this pregnant. But the most important thing that you should, when you're pregnant, please make yourself active. Because when you're active, it helps you like position. You disturb the baby. So and you can probably do massage, small massage, circle massage on your belly, and then make sure that you don't have to run because you're heavy. But then you move off the table, go to the house, make yourself like active. That baby, trust me, will go back in what? In position. Yeah, this is
and
very
develop
important.
really
Yeah,
well.
this is very important because you really have to be active. You don't have to stay seated just because you're pregnant. You don't have a disability, please.
You can function well.
Yeah,
So on another note, so there's a movie that came out, Wonder Woman. So the actor Gadot, she performs like really well in the movie. The movie is the best movie made by that like film company ever. And then realized later that she was actually like the entire shooting they had basically video edited it, and the scenes like she's doing like crazy stunts, or her stand up is doing crazy stunts, and just goes to show you that being pregnant isn't sorry, like women can perform as well. And in the cases where us as guys look down on women, but look down on women at the workplace who are pregnant, thinking they can't perform just because they're pregnant, it's wrong. There's a Chinese star. Was it Serena Williams?
Serena.
Yeah, she played an entire. And it's Chinese. It's 2 hours.
and
It's 2 hours on the court.
Yeah, that's amazing. Show.
I'll do the thing. Shout out Donna if you're listening to. Oh yeah, back again. This is the internet. Yeah, we're good. This is basically internet telling us to wrap up, but now we have like a few more things to have. So yeah, today guys, we've introduced you to Brenda from Zalaa. Introduced you to Zalaa and what she does, and we tackled like a really interesting topic on sexual health, that is posterior position. I do not forget what's easy.
Yeah.
Posterior positioning and how it drove her to start her own social mission, a social startup, and to solve this problem. And right now we're in Nairobi, in probably one of the best programs in the world. Shout out to Microsoft Insiders for good. Can you talk about that? How did you like discover about the competition? Yes.
Oh, that's an amazing story as well. Because like when I thought about Zalaa, I first of all just like you draft it, you're thinking, I love internet, so I was like, I was looking around, then I saw Microsoft Insiders for Good East Africa, yeah. So, but the deadline was tomorrow.
That was the next thing.
The deadline was the next. So I was like, I checked the deadline. I was like, will this work for me? Let me try it out. So I downloaded the form, filled the form, a super long form. So finally I submitted, and a few months, I think 1 month or 2 months. I think 2 months. So like I got an email, and wow. I was supposed to go for an interview.
The initial interview. Awesome.
Went to Uganda. I think we were around 20 people were interviewed.
So you live away from like Kampala, or?
No, I'm in Kampala. I live in Kampala. So like I got an email, then I had to attend an interview in Kampala. It was
Who
Hotel.
interviewed though?
It was Jackie.
Jackie, Jackie.
Jackie interviewed me. Yeah.
Inside a joke.
Yeah, she was like amazing. She like explained to her, and then finally I got this. Like I thought, because Jackie was like, if you don't get an email on this day, then just chill. That did pass. I didn't. I just chilled. That one is bad. You good, bro. And then I woke up in the morning. I received an email. I was like, oh my, this is amazing. So that was and then we came to the boot camp in Nairobi. So I met an amazing team of like Donna, Jeremiah.
Shout out by the you really missed.
Tom Kratz and Raji and Temi, Duni. It was a big team. They were amazing, and it was an amazing experience. Now we're back again on the midpoint, and we've really done a lot. Like Jackie has been pushing us all those few months, and right now, what I can say now, what Zalaa is now, is because of Microsoft. Because if it wasn't Microsoft, honestly, I don't know where I would be. Because they've like put me on that level that I believe in myself. I'm more passionate about my
your
product,
yeah.
Yeah, and like
You have a lot of things like
Yeah.
organized. You have a canvas. You are looking at. You're doing the math.
Yeah.
Awesome. You're doing.
I'm
you're
learning
doing
the math.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, most of us don't want the math. Yeah, but yeah, you learn the math. Yeah, you do the math. It has been an amazing journey. I can't say. I can't complain.
Awesome. It's also be a journey to me. And the thing I'll miss most is basically that community that we have, like a community of founders who will go at any length like to help each other if they can, if they can help, and that's really good and that's really good. So yeah, shout out once again to the Windows Insider program, Jeremiah Marble, Donna Saka, and the rest of the team. And thank you, Brenda, for being with me here today.
You're welcome.
Like this was long. We were like, yeah, when we meet, we have to do, and then like we're into like the rigorous, the rigorous like training, and you're like, no, yeah, we need to do a podcast. We need to do a podcast. Breaks into- Okay, finally, you can sign off. So yeah, with you, I have Mkasa. Remember, we are from Sophie Bot. You answer questions. You answer your questions on sexual health, and every few weeks we're here openly and honestly talking about sex. And with me tonight was the amazing Brenda, and thank you so much for sharing your story. And with that, go ye therefore and openly and honestly talk about what? Talk about sex and sexual health. So yeah, I've become Kasa signing off.